All right. We are on the air. Jeff Airtime with Philmington for our halfway point MLB talk and chat. What's up, Phil? Yeah. Jeff Airtime with Philmington. Our halfway point MLB talk and chat. What's up, Phil?
What's going on, guys? It's Phil. Shaved head, bald Phil. What's up, guys?
Wow. Why am I getting?
That was my fault.
Yeah, that was you?
Yeah, I had the sound on my cell phone on. I turned it off. Sorry about that.
All right, there we go. Is the echo gone now? I don't need these headphones.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, we're good.
Sorry about that. Ruined the intro. Replay value destroyed. Start over.
Oh, well, that's what I got trivia for. I got my trivia to go nice and smooth. This one, not so much. So what's going on, guys? We got Shaq Rat and Wicked and Thrice, Chris Mania, Abel, Dennis, Stove Sports. Stove, Phil was just telling me about your new repack product you got coming out. Abel in Vegas, what's going on, guys?
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. I'm trying to get Lonestar on. I guess maybe he uses a different email or something like that. So
yeah, we're expecting our guest star of the evening, Lonestar. We actually pushed this back a little bit so Lonestar would be able to join us tonight. But I heard he's taking a nap, so I guess with the little one on the way, he's getting as much rest now as he can. Hey, Crosby. Phil Guy. Yeah, I'm probably going to throw a few trivia questions in there. Why not? Now that I got half of YouTube on sports that do sports cards doing trivia, I might as well, do some myself since I am the originator, the innovator of it, but not everyone's seems to be taking off. So I'm going to wait a minute to see if we get Lonestar in here.
Yeah, I sent him the link through Facebook. Maybe he joins, maybe he doesn't. Has he done Google Hangouts before, Jeff?
He has done it before, back in the early days of Card Crew.
Back in the early days, back in January?
Yeah.
Hey, so I might not be a trivia aficionado host like Jeff is, but check out one of my more recent videos. I got 95% 10s back from PSA. 3 of these pink guys in 10s. If I see you guys at the National, I'll be at the National, unlike Jeff and Lonestar. And I'm looking to sell some stuff, so I'll be carrying a few cards.
You going to be wearing a fanny pack?
I will be wearing a fanny pack. I will have a Philmington t-shirt on. I guess I'm supposed to do like a fanny pack bump with Pepino Man. He wants to do a pelvic thrust motion in public.
You're definitely going to have to get that on video for sure. Crosby, Nipsey Hussle. All right. Well, you know what? Let's not delay. We'll Lonestar will jump in here at some point. I'm guessing. So, yeah, that's right, Thrice. All right, so I'm going to start this off with one of those trivia questions, and then that's actually going to lead into the first topic I wanted to talk about here tonight. All right, well, we don't have many in here, so it's going to make it easy for someone. I have some autographs to choose from and some pretty good vintage. We got the 76 J.R. Richard, 70 Hoyt Wilhelm, 75 Tom Seaver, Brooks Robinson, or an auto to give out. I got Terry Steinbach, a longtime A's catcher, Desmond Jennings, Bowman Chrome. At one time, this was actually a really super hot card. Now it's nothing.
Oh wow, yeah, that was Tampa Bay's biggest prospect ever up till Franco.
Yeah. There was a time and point where this card was just the one to get. Now it's, like I said, it's nothing. Adam Duvall, Gypsy Queen auto, or a Tyler Clippard Prism auto. So anyway, All right, without further ado, just get one question out of the way, and then that gets into really what I want to talk about first. I was hoping Lonestar would be here for this, get his thoughts, but we'll ask him when he joins in. Victor Negron, what's up, my man? Yeah, or Baldelli actually had some pretty good years.
Yeah, and Delman Young, did he come from the Twins organization or Tampa Bay? I forget. That Garza trade was pretty early.
Yeah, Delman Young came up with Tampa.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so the big news this week was not the home run derby or the All-Star game. In fact, I don't know, Phil, you might want to give your thoughts on that later. I didn't watch 1 second of any of it. I use this week in the summer to relax and recoup. But anyway, the big news this week was in baseball. The first professional baseball game used the robo umpire for balls and strikes in an independent league game, which they're not affiliated with MLB, but they have a contract with MLB to implement some new rules and strategies on going about a different type of play. And one of the things they implemented was the new robocall balls and strikes by the technology known as TrackMan, similar to Hawkeye, that they've been using successfully for years in tennis. So anyway, the trivia question: name the two teams involved, the team names, not the cities, the team names involved in this game. It's an independent league in I believe it was the North Atlantic League. I've seen one of these teams actually play in action once against a local team here, the Camden River Sharks. But I need the names of the two teams that played in that game. So what do you think, Phil, about the upcoming? I mean, I know you're kind of against it. You think it might hurt the pace of play, but I think it's been a long time coming. I really think Major League Baseball needs to get with the times. They're a little antiquated, and this is the first sign that they're headed into the right direction. What do you think?
I don't know. I might be in the minority here, and I forget if we've talked about some of these similar related issues in the past, but I like to call myself a traditionalist. So forget about the pace of play. Things like the slide rule into second base, the home plate sliding rule that they have now, and certain other rule changes I've been against for the most part. The introduction of instant replay for certain plays, like, pretty much everything's reviewable now except for balls and strikes, right? I wasn't a big fan of that because I always thought that the umpires were a part of the game. If they're right 92%.
And that's the problem. Some of these guys like Joe West, they're trying to insert themselves as part of the game, and they're not a part of the game.
Yeah.
It's like the old adage: if you don't notice the umpires, it means they're doing their job. So
there's a few bad apples that ruin it for everybody. So if they can somehow get rid of Angel Hernandez, Joe West, and maybe a couple others, but they can't because, didn't Angel Hernandez already sue the league for discrimination?
He did. One of them discriminatory suits or something like that. Again, the question: what were the two teams involved Wednesday night? The first time a professional league used a robo ump, so to speak, to call balls and strikes. And I don't know if you saw any footage on it, Phil, but the umpire is wearing an iPod in his back pocket with an earpiece, and there's literally no delay. It's like a 1 second delay, and he gets the call and just rings up a strike or calls a ball. There's no delay in it whatsoever.
Yeah, there's changing rules of the game to make things more accurate, to make sure that the team that made the play gets the play, and the team that played the best wins the game. But I think the MLB is a little desperate here. They keep on. It's almost like they're creating changes to have change because they're desperate to attract the youth and the older generations back into the sport. I think overall there's been a loss of viewership. Attendance at games. I don't know. I think a lot of these changes are just because of that, because they're trying to switch things up just to attract more interest overall, just to reinvent the sport. But I mean, once they F with the sport so much, it's going to be something that's unrecognizable by me 20 years from now. I might not like it. So the traditionalists will be pushed away. And then the kids aren't going to watch it anyways because it's not a contact sport and it's not Pokemon and it's not on their laptop or iPad, whatever.
Dennis Price. Dennis. You're right. That's a great point. Dennis Price. Yes, the Ducks and the Revolution. Also debuted in the All-Star game. But to me, and Dennis Price, I'm going to give you your choices again in a moment. Liberty Division and Freedom Division. Says Wicked. To me, again, like Stofe says, robots calling balls and strikes. He thinks it's a little too far, and he's with you. He likes the human element, but to me, as I don't want the umpires, affecting the games, and I've just seen too many instances where there's just missing calls because it has to be their strike zone. Even though we've all seen the track box where it's in the box, and a pitcher and I'm going to use Jack Flaherty, and you're going to laugh, but he's got such nasty stuff. A lot of time I've seen games where he pitches and some of the curveballs he pitches that the umpire will miss 5 or 6 calls during the course of the game because he just can't track the break on it. He's got a blind spot down in a low, and it's clearly a strike, and he's getting called a ball. Or if the pitcher misses his target, catcher sitting in, but it goes out, and it's still called a ball, even though it's clearly a strike. That just irritates the hell out of me. And if the technology's there and it's not going to cost more time, I don't know why we don't use it. And hey, look who we have in there. Lonestar in the house.
How's
you
everybody
bald
doing?
bastard. What's going on, man?
What's going on, brother?
How was that nap, Lonestar?
How's it going, brother?
I got to say, Lonestar was probably one of the first, 25 people I subbed to. And it was probably one of his rip videos. Lonestar is known for ripping. And I've been watching him rip ever since.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate the invite, guys.
Yeah, man. How was that nap?
Oh, it was great, dude. I needed it, man. I needed it bad. Man,
I told Phil and everyone, I said, Lonestar must be trying to get all that rest in before the new one comes next week.
Yeah, because I know we're going to get 0, man. That's all right. It's worth it, brother. It's worth it.
That's right.
How's Mrs. Airtown?
She's doing good. She had a chemo treatment today. Usually it really kicks in. It starts affecting her like at the 24-hour mark. She's good for that first day, and then between 24 and 48 hours, it really knocks her on her ass. But she's in good spirits, and the prognosis is good, so that's all that counts.
That's right. That's what counts, man. And we're still praying for her every day, brother.
Thanks so much. I appreciate that. Before we get keep going, I just Dennis Price had the first answer to that trivia question, and I just want to give Dennis Price a chance to grab his prize. Dennis, we have 4 vintage cards to choose from: Brooks Robinson, Tom Seaver, Hoyt Wilhelm, and J.R. Richard. Or the 4 autos to choose from: Tyler Clippard, Terry Steinbeck, Adam Duvall, and Desmond Jennings. I hear the littles in the background.
Yeah, they're running around, man. They're running around, being crazy and wild as always, man. At Philmington, I just wanted to say, man, head looks beautiful, brother.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. I'm still trying to tan it. I actually went to a tanning booth today because, as you can see, I still have quite the bad tanning line, and being outside, I've been being able to tan the top, like the sides. They're taking a little longer, I think.
If you wouldn't have pointed it out, I would have noticed, bro.
Yeah, it's just I gotta instead of shaving it every 3 days, I gotta do it every 1 day, I think, because the stubble's growing too fast and blocking the sun coming in. But
right.
Hey, speaking of the first person that noticed you, Airtime, I think between Lonestar, Airtime, and Pepino Man, I think those are the 3 main guys that found me when I had 15 subs. So if it wasn't for that, I'd be just one of those.
Oh yeah.
I know there's plenty of people in the chat that probably have under 150 subs, but it's just not fun when nobody's recognizing your stuff. So it was up to you guys.
Everybody. That's why we make content. We want to. I actually think it's odd that I remember this. I think I was your 4th sub. I think I was number 4.
Yeah, man. I don't know how you found me. How the hell did you find me?
I don't know. I've thought about that, and the only thing I can think of is it must have been in a chat, probably of one of the bigger channels, maybe Silver Jackify or Mike O. It was probably in one of those chats.
Yeah, well, Silver Jackify had like a Friday trivia one time, and I won the first 2 questions, and they were like, "All right, you can't participate anymore." But it wasn't fair because I had like I was following one guy. It was Jackify, so I knew everything about him. Everybody else has to memorize so much about so many other YouTubers, but mine was so concentrated. I was a Jackify like major.
Yeah, I found you, Philmington. I found you by just getting on and searching, man. When I first started making YouTube videos about baseball cards, the only person I really knew about, and believe me, the guy don't need me to give him a shout out or nothing like that, but was Dodger Films. I'm sure y'all know who the guy is. I mean, dude just hit 1 million subs, man. And I said it on my very first video, man. I was scrolling through YouTube and looking up MMA highlights because I'm a big MMA fan. I love MMA, and I was scrolling through and I seen just a pair of hands that had some baseball cards in them. I was like, baseball cards, man. I love baseball cards, man. But where I come from, baseball cards wasn't cool, man. You know what I'm saying? So I clicked on it and I was like, man, that's awesome. He was just ripping cards, and I was like, man, I want to do that. It seems pretty cool. So I actually started searching for everybody that does. I didn't know that was like a whole community, man. YouTubers that rip baseball cards or collect baseball cards. So I started looking and just searching, and you were actually one of the first ones I found. I was like, man, I like that guy. It was your voice, man. Your voice was very captivating, man. It was very I don't know how to put it, man. Just very Rico Suave, man. Straight to the point, real chill. It was cool, man. It was really cool. So of course I hit the subscribe button.
Yeah.
And Jeff,
we're all
Jeff
envious of Phil's delivery and voice.
Oh yeah, he's got a great voice, man. Great voice.
It's
and
like,
Jeffrey was one of the very big blessings of Card Crew. So
it's like what Adam Jones said about Yordano Ventura. He said like $1 million arm, but nothing between the ears. So I'm like I'm like $1 million voice and a 2-cent brain. So.
No, man.
But hey, Pepino Man, actually, when I found him, I started watching his videos. I don't know about you guys, but it was like an acquired taste, like kind of like Starbucks cold brew. It was just like, I don't know if I think this guy's funny. I think he's kind of weird, and like, why is he being like perverted? And now I think he's hilarious.
Yeah, I love Pepino, man. I love Pepino.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Gabe the Babe just wanted to show y'all his who's this, Puppy Dog Pals or somebody? Oh, Paw Patrol Hangout, because I told him I was going to hang out with Jeffrey and Philmington. So there you go.
Nice. Well, is he good with sharing his toys?
No, not at all. Yeah, no, not at all. Here you go, buddy. Go play with it. Good job. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I love Pepino, and I make a joke on my videos sometimes, man. Pepino is probably the one channel that my dad watches more than mine. That my dad just he loves Pepino, man. He just because I have the blessing of working with my father, so I can see him every day, and we work right down the hall from each other, and I can always hear down the hallway. It's a real big echo. And I always hear from my office, it's shiny. And I was like, man. And I go in there, I'm like, hey, Dad, man, I need my watch hours, man. How come you're not watching my stuff? You know, he goes, I love Pepino. So,
I don't think there's a word associated more with any sports card YouTuber than the word shiny.
Oh, yeah, it's the biggest calling card there is, man.
Yeah. Everyone uses it. Every channel uses it.
Yeah.
And it's not just that. It's the Chinese, the Corey Seager.
Yeah.
Of others. I mean, the amount of creativity, stage presence, the imagination that guy has, and he doesn't do a whole lot of work into like editing and producing, only if he has to, like to stitch together. But him in any other niche in YouTube, he could do joke videos, prank videos. Yeah. He'd make like funny videos at the gym. He would go viral right away. But because he's in the baseball card community, because there's only one Jabs family, he's what he is, which is unfortunate. But guys, oh man, so talented, I think.
Yeah, he is. Look at and Stove Sports hits it right on the head. He said Pepino taught him 2 things: you can have fun in the hobby, and number 2, the Dodgers don't drug test.
Yeah.
So this is something I probably shouldn't mention, but Pepino Man told me on the phone, private conversation, that LAPD at the Dodger Stadium, they know about his videos. They're like, "Hey, Pepino Man," and he's like, Hey.
Oh,
And then,
Yeah, because with him riding the whip. And about a month ago, he started doing a pregame show for me every Sunday morning, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And that's he supports everyone too. And a lot of people don't talk about that. They just talk about how funny and crazy he is. But he's like a Jimbei, man. He supports everybody.
He does, man, and he's great about it too, man. I like I didn't even know he knew about my channel at first, but I knew about his, and I commented a couple of times and everything like that. And of course, he was hilarious from the beginning. But he wrote me back and said, "Hey, send me your email or whatever. I wanted to send you a package," and I really didn't know much about Pepino packages yet, man. And but he sent one, and it was epic, man. He sent, and it was loaded with stuff for the boys, man, and for somebody to do that, man, it's just really cool because he's not only funny and awesome, but he's got a heart of gold too, man.
Right. Every once in a while, you see a different side of a Pino man. You see it getting a little emotional, shedding a tear. You saw it probably most recently when Joe Ryan, fan 30, passed away. You also saw it with I think the Justin Bellinger response, Father's Day, where he talked about his dad and his experience there. So, yeah, and like you said, the engagement with other YouTubers. I think he's sending out like care packages to 250 people on a regular basis. So, I personally stopped doing contest response videos. I was sharing that with Jeff before the video started, the live stream started, and like Pepino man does contest responses for people I haven't even heard of. Right. He does nonstop. It's just like it's incredible.
Yeah, that's exactly my point. All right, I think we said his praises enough.
Pepino, and he's not even listening.
We don't want him getting too big of a head. All right, let's talk some baseball. That's what we're here for. Well, before we get into I want to get really the two things I want to get into is who we think are going to be some second half potential sleepers, like not necessarily breakouts, but guys who are really going to improve on what they did in the first half, or if they've been played in the first half in some instances, if they're coming back from injury. And some potential busts or players who are due for some regression, a la Josh Bell. But before we get into that, I need to ask Mr. Texas Ranger Lonestar himself, which incidentally, you got a big game. You know what? Let me check on that score real quick there between Houston and Texas. What's going on? Houston is up 4-3 in the.
They're up 4-3, but y'all see what I got going on here.
And that's where I'm going with this question. And I just want to know one thing: is Joey Gallo going to be able to sustain that 275 average in the second half of the season?
I mean, I hope so, but I mean, history says no. But hey, even if it drops to, I don't care if it drops to 250, and as long as it's above the Mendoza line more than just 1 point, I'm good with it.
I heard he hit a home run in the All-Star game. I didn't watch it, but
he hit. Yeah, it was a little bit of a. Yeah, he hit one. I'll just say, man, it was a shot, man.
All right, so I'm going to go over a list of a few guys for second half breakouts. And I want to know your thoughts. And AJ Pollock is the first one. He's back today. This is a guy who had really immense talent, some big years with Arizona, and has just been fighting injury the last couple years. But he's back today from a fractured thumb, an elbow infection. He's really been afflicted with everything under God. And if the Dodgers get him swinging the bat, look out, because that's already, I think, the best offense in the National League.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Phil.
Oh, no, I was going to say A.J. Pollock, when he's healthy, he's proven to us that he can be a very good player. So I think pencil him in as a top 25 outfielder. He's going to give you some speed probably, some home runs, some average. You don't always know where it's going to come from, but he's going to provide that value across the board.
Definitely. I mean, I like Pollock. I always liked Pollock even when he was with the D-backs, man. I think when he left the D-backs, you kind of just didn't hear as much about him. But I'd like to see a resurgence from him, man, because I always liked him. Of course, he was always overshadowed by Goldie, but I always liked the guy.
Now, I don't do many uploads anymore. I pretty much just do my live Sunday mornings. But I had to do a upload recently to get this guy's name out there, and that's Dinelson Lamet, San Diego Padres. He made his first start before the All-Star break against those powerful Dodgers, and he pitched great. He only allowed 3 hits over 5 innings with 7 strikeouts. This guy hasn't pitched since 2017. He sat out all last year with the Tommy John surgery, but he was touching 99 miles an hour, and that's what he did in 2017. And that's not even his best pitch. He has some wicked off-speed and breaking stuff, a breaking ball. He actually set the San Diego record in 2017 in strikeouts per 9 innings pitched. So he is the guy who everyone should be targeting in fantasy. Second half of the season, he's still only owned in about 50 to 60% of all leagues. So if you're watching this and you're a fantasy player, go out and get yourself some Dinelson Lamet. And that goes for cardboard too. I have 3 of his rookie autograph cards, and I got them all for like $3 or $4 a piece. So that's my stock tip on the day. Load up on Dinelson Lamet. And the Padres are an improving team.
Yeah. Yeah, and I didn't know much about that guy, man, until I seen your trivia from last Saturday. Sorry I didn't make it, by the way, man. But I've been watching some of his highlight stuff. I didn't know nothing about that Lamet kid, man. But I love a good flamethrower, man. There's nothing like a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. It's like a 500-foot home run, man. I just love it.
That's right. A la Nolan Ryan.
Yeah.
All right, and now, Phil, I have some other second half potential breakouts, and you tell me which one you like the best out of these. I got Tyler Mahle, the Reds, who's really had a good first half. His wins don't reflect it because the Reds kind of struggled a little bit, but he's got a new cutter and a curve that he's mixing, and not using the fastball as much. Danny Salazar, who was a fantasy stud a couple years ago, finally looks like he's ready to come back from injury. Danny Jansen, the catcher from Toronto, who hasn't struck out since June 21st. Tuki Toussaint, who they're saying might be back in the Braves rotation soon. He's seemingly he's got his control together, which is the only knock on him. Justin Smoke, someone who Lonestar knows well, who's actually only has a 224 BABIP. If that regulates, he might be in store for a huge second half. And Josh James, someone I know who you like, Phil, is said to have a good shot at going back into the Houston Astros rotation. And he's got a 40% strikeout rate this year. What name in there jumps out at you, Phil?
I'd say the ones that I would kind of throw out or dismiss. Tuki Toussaint. I mean, he hasn't displayed the controller command yet in the big leagues. So it's going to take him a while to kind of learn, kind of like Glasnow. I feel like he's a couple years behind him. Tyler Mahle, he struggles third time through the order. I'm not really too excited about him, especially with the team he plays for, the ballpark he plays in. But Danny Salazar, if he's healthy, he can be a very efficient, very good pitcher. I mean, his stuff is filthy. He's shown it in spurts before. I don't know if he's ever had full seasons where he's been completely dominant, but he's a very, very talented pitcher. Josh James is a guy I was excited about before the season started. Sometimes you just got to wait till the injuries make room for certain pitchers to make their debut in the starting rotation. This year, he was hampered with some injury in spring training. Colin McHugh was too, but Colin McHugh came back stronger, and he rightfully started. But Josh James is that type of, it's like a Chris Sale type guy.
Yeah, with a 40% strikeout rate, you can't ignore that.
Filthy stuff. That's a guy you'd want to have an eye on. You'd probably want to own him in all leagues, at least once he starts to get stretched out, I think. So Josh James would be my guy with maybe Salazar, if he can stay healthy.
Yeah. Salazar, speaking of Indians pitchers, Lonestar, I texted Phil during the at the end of the All-Star game, because I saw it was either Twitter or Instagram, whatever, someone was saying how great Shane Bieber was, so I had to look on the highlights, and he was throwing 95-mile-an-hour gas. So I texted Phil, I said, when the hell does Shane Bieber since when does he have 95 in his back pocket?
Yeah. Bieber,
before.
He's legit. I mean, he's a guy that should have been on like some sort of innings, at least consideration this year to give him a little bit of a cap. He's already got 140 strikeouts. He won the All-Star Game MVP. I don't know why, because Chapman had the same exact line with less pitches, maybe because of the domestic abuse thing. That's fine, whatever. I think they were struggling. Like, nobody deserved the MVP. They should have just not given one to anyone. Like, they kept on showing the camera after the game to Michael Brantley. He was like 1 for 1 with a double just because he started his career in Cleveland. The game was in Cleveland. You're going to give it to him? Well, that's why they gave it to Bieber, probably, because he's an Indian. I don't know.
Yeah, they were big. They were huge on this whole Cleveland deal, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, and I said it last night when that video that I downloaded. And it's not just because I am a huge homer. Okay, go Rangers. By the way, Jordan Alvarez just hit his 8th home run, but
Woo!
Gallo should have got the MVP, man. His home run was the go-ahead run, and ended up being the winning run. And plus, he's from Texas, so.
Hey, so I quick before Jeff turns subjects, I want to give my point of view on Gallo. I think this is a legit breakout. He's not going to hit 275. He's got a 400 BABIP right now. That's unsustainable. He might hit 250. His strikeouts are still the same as last year, 36%, but his walks are way up. His line drive percentage is way up, like 28% versus he's never done better than 21% in a full season. So hard hit percentage is way up. I mean, these are real signs. He's barreling the ball up better. He's, with his walk rate being higher, he's showing some better plate discipline, and he's adjusting. He's still young, and I think this is the beginning of a very, very bright career for Gallo. So,
And speaking of the Rangers, I have to ask Lonestar, why is Nomar Mazara not in the lineup today?
I don't know. I was reading some stuff earlier. I don't know if he tweaked something or what, but I have no idea, honestly.
You know, I know the Rangers like to get Danny Santana in the lineup because he's really been a godsend for them.
He has, man.
You know, I don't know. I think they're doing it at the expense of, like, if there's nothing wrong with Mazara, I don't know. I just think he should be in the lineup. I know Danny Santana hit another home run earlier today, so maybe it's a bad time for me to say that, but I love Nomar Mazara. I mean,
and I do too, man. And he's got tons of talent, but unfortunately, man, he hasn't put all the talent out on the field. He's kind of like Joey Gallo's batting average has always been underperforming, but and he's not. I mean, he's not an all-star right fielder. I mean, I was reading a article today, man, and he was actually part of trade talks or whatever. It was kind of like a what if article, but you know, they were talking about maybe the Rangers going after, you know, Trevor Bauer or I know Thor is in talks for Mets are in talks for trading Thor, or he was you know, headlining trade talks. So I don't know, brother.
well, that's a perfect segue because that's where I wanted to go to next. I wanted to go with potential trade targets for the second half. But before we do that, I wanted to get another trivia question in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see. All right. The answer for this one is really recent. I'm talking within the last month for this one. And if you watch my trivia, I've given this question out probably a couple of weeks ago. Who is the only pitcher in Dodgers history with more than 15 strikeouts and no walks in a game since the mound was moved to its current distance in 1893? And again, there's a huge hint there. You don't have to go back very far. Maybe about, I don't know, 3 weeks or so ago. Oh, and this question is for Brooks Robinson. No choices. I'm just going to send out a Brooks Robinson, 1971 Brooks Robinson. No, Dennis Price, not Ryu. Man, the Venturas. Bueller. Chris Mania, you got it. Chris Mania, Walker Bueller.
Talk about a stud.
oh yeah,
Phil loves Walker Bueller. And
Dude.
in fact, I think on our last session, I asked Phil point blank, who is going to have, I don't know if I said the rest of the year or the career. I said pick Walker Bueller or Tyler Glasnow. And this was before Tyler Glasnow got hurt. And Phil was on it. Phil said Walker Bueller.
Yeah, Bueller was underperforming at the get-go. He's a little he was overused last year, and he got babied in the spring, probably a little bit like Chris Sale in the Red Sox starting rotation. So he was a little slow to get going, but yeah, I was a little worried for a little bit. You know, you think about like young pitchers being overused, maybe injury, but he made the All-Star team, and he's nasty, and they're not afraid to use him. So he's already got like a decent amount of innings. I don't know what's going to happen with the playoff run, but they're going to have to manage his innings a little bit better for the second half, I think.
How many innings do you anticipate that? Do you think the Dodgers will let him go between 180 and 200 innings? Because that could really, diminish his stats at the end of the season. Because they have to have their eye towards the playoffs.
Yeah, I was thinking a cap of no more than 165 for the playoffs. Let's see where he's at now. I'm trying to figure it out.
Big game tonight going on right now between the Dodgers and the Red Sox. What's the score on that one? Oh, I have a delay here. Boston up 4-1. Eduardo Rodriguez tossing a nice game, 10 strikeouts.
He's pretty good. He's been pretty good.
Yeah, and the Dodgers are very susceptible against left-handed pitching, so Erod does match up. Erod does match up fairly well with LA.
Bellinger's killing lefties this year. Sucked against them last year. It's weird. Yeah. You never know with these lefties. Yeah, Bellinger, one of my latest pickups.
That's nice.
Cops update. I got a goal too, but that's for a future video. Hey, so Lonestar, you gonna buy a Explosion box, Volume 7? I'm shipping out about 85 of them in the mail tomorrow. So if you want to be part of that, you don't even have to pay me now, but just let me know and I can send one out tomorrow.
You know I do, man. I ain't missed one yet, brother.
I don't know. I got to pay for babies now, so I didn't know if that's why I wanted to be respectful and ask. But
well, we're gonna do cloth diapers for a week, so we'll be all right.
Sounds good. Sounds good. You can sell them and.
Did you say 85? How many are you stocking now? You up to what, 96 now?
108 boxes, Jeff, and I just hit 100 subscribers this week, so I'm at 100 monthly subscribers. And I guess I count Joseph as part of that. But
hey, and look who joined us.
There he is, Pepino Man.
And he missed all the accolades we sent his way earlier in the show. Pepino, we spent about 5 minutes talking about you, brother. Yeah, baseball card collector. Chris Mania nailed the Walker Buehler answer. All right, Lone Star, you touched on it earlier. A couple of the big trade target chips going into the second half are on your Texas Rangers. A lot of teams interested in Mike Minor and Lance Lynn threw a great game last night. Would you be opposed to the Rangers trading them, or do you want them to make a playoff push?
Sell.
You want to be sellers, huh?
Yeah, dude. I mean, we're not gonna. Even if we touch the second, wild card spot, man, we're not gonna go any further than that, man. So why bother? You know what I'm saying? You can take them right now while they're real hot. Minor's pitching great. Lance Lynn just hit his 12th win. Sell, man. And honestly, I said at the beginning of the season, man, anybody over the age of 27 would have been gone. Would have been trade bait for me. You know what I mean? I'd have put up the red flag and started for, 2020. Yeah, but
I agree. In fact, I had a long discussion also about your Rangers seem to be popular in debate, a lot of their players, because Philmington very high on Rougned Odor coming into the season. But I think I got a suspicion Philmington might finally be letting go of his love for Rougned Odor. How about that, Phil?
Yeah, I'm ready to cut my losses on that guy. That guy sucks. Hey, by the way, do you guys know where I can find a application to get into the card group?
I think I could talk to a couple of guys. I know a guy that's pretty close with the card crew.
You know a guy that knows a guy?
I know a guy who knows a guy.
Yeah.
Put in a good word.
Yeah, I'll do it, definitely. But as far as Rougned Odor goes, man, he's another one. It's like Mazzara, man. Has tons of freaking talent that just can't. I don't understand. He baffles me, man. He really, really, really baffles me. They say hi.
He just gets really pull happy. He gets really, really pull happy.
Big time, man. And dude, just put the ball in play, man. Stop trying to put it in the stands every single time, which kind of sounds like bass backwards when my favorite player's Joey Gallo, because that's all he tries to do, either walk, strike out, or home run. But you expect that from Gallo. You know what I mean? You don't expect that from Rougned Odor.
Well, I like Gallo. I mean, as much as I break stones on him, he he hits the ball where it's pitched. He'll go oppo. Whereas I don't know, I think that's a big reason why Gallo's upped his average this year. He's willing to take that ball in the outer half to the other way.
Just put it in play, man.
Yeah, I mean, it speaks volumes.
But
Yeah,
as far as Rugnan, he's like I said, man. And I love his heart, man. I love his tenacity, man. And plus, I love his right hand. But it's just like, dude, come on, man, show us something, man. You're gonna need more than just potential, especially after the deal we gave him.
I got to talk about my Phillies for a minute because they're just getting their ass kicked again by Steven Strasburg and then Washington. Is that? Let me see. Did that game go final? Yep, they lost 4-0. There's talk about the Phillies picking up Zach Greinke and taking on that $70 million he's owed over the next 2 years. Boy, I think that would be a mistake.
Yeah.
$70 million Greinke's owed over the next 2 years. And the Diamondbacks have reportedly told Philadelphia, if you guys want that contract, go ahead and take them. But I think now with Philly looking like they're not going anywhere, I'm hoping, God, I'm hoping they don't take on that salary.
Hey, you were really low on Greinke to start the season, Jeff, but he's been pretty good. He was an all-star, right?
I was.
He gets it done. He doesn't have the best stuff score. He doesn't have the best swing strike rate, but he's still a quality pitcher. I mean, not the best contract. $35 million a year is bad, but
Yeah.
you could argue is would you rather have that or Rick Porcello for $20 million a year? Hey, by the way, I think what is plaguing Odor might be he knows the balls are juiced. He's seeing all of his teammates, maybe his whole team shattering home run records, whatever, and I think he might be selling out, trying to hit more fly balls. I think Andrew Benintendi might be trying to do the same thing. So they probably, and Benintendi changed his swing, worked out a lot in the offseason, but I think that might have messed him up a bit. And he's just not making contact. Less ground balls means usually a lower average. He's still not connecting. He's still not hitting home runs. He's striking out a lot more. Odor's a mess. But
yeah, I mean, I can see Odor trying to change some things up and trying to get more balls in play, but Benintendi shouldn't have changed up anything. I mean, that dude's a stud, man.
He
stuck with what works.
I love Benny. In fact, he was my dark horse to win AL MVP, but obviously you see how that's turned out. Now, speaking of juice ball, Rookie Monsters thinks he says Dansby Swanson. If they get rid of the juice ball, we'll go back to a 215 player with 1 homer. I don't think so. I think Dansby Swanson's for real. I mean, he was the first overall pick.
He was a beast coming out of Vanderbilt.
Yeah. No, I think I disagree with you on that one, Rookie Monster. I think Dansby Swanson's going to be a hell of a player.
Yeah.
Maybe not MVP caliber, but
I'm just glad to see him finally putting it together, man.
No, I think we're conflating two unrelated things here. Dansby Swanson is not good. It's a coincidence that he was the number 1 pick because right now his numbers are not supported by anything. Look at his stats, Jeff. Like, what's his OPS? Like 800? He just happens to have a lot of home runs and nothing else. Like, probably his home run to fly ball ratio is probably like 30%. Like, career is probably 12. I don't know. I think he goes back to sucking. It's going to take him a little bit longer to break out than I think most people realize. But that's my opinion. Rookie Monster, what do you think? What do you think about he's a Braves fan, I think, so.
Well, I think Dansby Swanson's going to have a rough night tonight going against that Dinelson Lamet. Lamet has really 2 tough matchups. He came out against the Dodgers, and he's got the Braves tonight. Dansby Swanson, I'm looking right now. He's hitting 270. That's with 75 strikeouts and 341 at bats. That's not bad at all. That's the same as Freddie Freeman has. I don't understand the hate for Philmington on Dansby Swanson.
Philmington, I'll go ahead and answer because the only problem I have with Dansby Swanson is he has great hair.
He does have a strong hair game.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I get hair envy, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
All right. Yeah, I guess. Okay, I'm looking at the numbers. He's doing okay. He's got a 330 OBP. That's a little bit low for somebody of his stature, I'd say. But he's got a decent slugging, 493. All right. I guess he's probably hitting lefties better this year. I don't know. I have to dig deeper into his stats, but.
So are either of you guys waking up early tomorrow morning for breakfast at Wimbledon to watch Serena Williams?
I'll be at work. I get up at 2:30 to go to work. So.
All right. So Lone Star's out. How about you, Phil?
I've got to ship out like 85 explosion boxes tomorrow, so I got to print out the labels and
86.
I go to 3 different post offices because I feel bad because every time I bring in like 30 or more packages at once, they get all like overwhelmed. It's like, but all the post offices are pretty close to one another, but it's still a pain in the ass.
They don't like when they see you coming.
No, and it's just once a month. It's like, whoa, I'm not expanding anymore. Like for a while.
But now she is going for her 24th major, which is just sick. You know, and I get in an argument with all the time. If you ask who the greatest athlete is of all time, you're going to get 10 different names. But if you ask who the greatest women's athlete is, there's only one name that even comes to mind. So you have to give Serena Williams her due.
Oh, yeah. And I give her props and wish her the best of luck, man. It's just, I'm not a big tennis guy anyway, but I respect athletes for what they do, no matter what they do. You know what I mean?
All right, now potential busts in the second half. Now, I shouldn't even use the word busts. Who of these huge first breakout stars do you see in line for some regression in the second half? Fernando Tatis, the awesome rookie. Josh Bell, who's just, I know Wicked Discounts was on earlier. He thinks he's going to regress big time. Mike Soroka, who, you know, doesn't have any overpowering stuff, but has just had an unreal first half for Atlanta. Luis Castillo, he does have some filthy stuff. One of the best changeups you'll ever see. He had an awesome first half. And Lone Star's own Mike Minor and Lance Lynn. Who do you guys think are going to come down to earth, back down to earth a little bit out of that list? And which one of those guys do you think are going to continue on at their torrid pace?
You want to go first, Phil?
Yeah, sure. All of those guys are going to regress for the most part. Now Josh Bell, he's already started to. He was hitting like 340 for a while. He's still on pace for 90 extra base hits. So, I mean, even if he ends the season with like 38 home runs, he's got 27 right now, I believe. Even if he ends the season with 35 home runs, a slash line of like 270, 350, 550, like, is that really like a letdown? I mean, that still warrants a top 10 round selection probably next year, even with first base probably being a lot deeper next year than it was this year with Alonso and others that broke out. But yeah, I think Josh Bell, he's going to regress a little bit. Lance Lynn, I mean, come on. I think we've all like been around enough for the Lance Lynn show. He's never been a top 20 pitcher.
He was throwing 96 up in the zone last night. It was really unhittable.
He's always outperformed his peripherals, so he's just a complete wild card. I don't know what to say about him, but what do you think, Lone Star, about any of those guys?
Sale. Lance Lynn and Mike Minor, I think, are going to come back down to earth for sure, man. And Josh Bell's going to regress, I think, on the batting average, man. But, I mean, he's going to keep his pop, I think. But other than that, I don't know too much about the other guys. Mike Soroka, I just know about what I've read. But
you just pulled a couple nice Mike Sorokas out of the.
I did.
And what was that? 18 tops, right?
Yeah, update. Yeah, I scoop that stuff up every time I can. Every time I see it, thanks to Philmington over there.
Yep. Hey, Luis Castillo, that guy is a stud. He's struggling a little bit with his control right now. I think he was probably better in April than the last couple of months. But once he figures it out, that guy is going to be a top 10 pitcher easily, year over year. Yeah. He's going to be the NL version of Severino.
Exactly. Yeah, and he's young. I think he's I'm going to say 23, 24.
Oh,
young guy.
That's perfect. Yeah.
I was talking to Christopher Hasen. He's been a YouTuber for quite a while, and he's a big Reds fan, and he thinks the Reds have an outside shot of winning the wild card. And I just kind of laughed in my head because they suck, right? Come on.
That NL Central is so bunched together, though. Really, nothing would surprise me. Rookie Monster says Luke Jackson is going to regress. I don't know. He doesn't have a lot of competition in that bullpen. AJ Minter is finally pitching well again, so maybe AJ Minter reclaims his job. Victor Negron says that all Yankees are going to continue on their torrid pace. I don't know about that, Victor. They can't even all stay healthy.
Yeah. Chris Mania said that Gary Sanchez was going to win the MVP. I'll say that that's impossible. For the same reason that JD Martinez can't win the MVP. Last year he finished maybe third overall. I would have voted for Bregman over him because I think he's a better all-around player, and he was last year maybe. But WAR would show that. But But yeah, Sanchez has no chance because Trout's in the league. And if Trout somehow gets injured, he would have to miss more than a month, I think, to not win the MVP. He's been so good. He's been insane. A league of his own.
Yeah. You want to rock, paper, scissors? Hang on. Let me finish talking to my buddies.
Jeff McNeil, yeah, 27. I think the Mets should have brought him up a couple of years ago, but he is a great bat on ball guy. So I don't see any regression at Jeff McNeil. That batting average is for real. Excellent young hitter. All right, let me get one more trivia in here because we got probably one more segment coming up. So I want to get one more trivia in here, and let's see. I'm going to keep it in the somewhat recent genre. Well, actually, God, it's not recent anymore. So we're going to have to go back to the early 80s for this answer. Who was the first rookie pitcher to win the Cy Young Award? Who was the first rookie pitcher to win the Cy Young Award?
Hideo Nomo, next.
Wow, you're actually pretty close. You're on the right team. Card Hobbyist. Card Hobbyist asks my trivia every Sunday morning. Card Hobbyist is usually good for a couple answers every Sunday morning. So Card Hobbyist. I know Card Hobbyist is a vintage guy. So we got Tom Seaver, 1975 Tom Seaver, Hoyt Wilhelm, 1970, and then 1976 J.R. Richard. What's your fancy Card Hobbyist?
Wow, somebody said Kiyagawa. That's Victor Negron. That's
Kiyagawa. He was a lefty for New York, right?
That's digging deep. Either New York or the Dodgers, I forget.
Yeah, I think he was a lefty for the Yankees. Sometime after that fat pussy toad.
Deki Arabu, right?
Deki Arabu. All right, Card Hobbies. We'll get that Seaver out to you. That was maybe my favorite George Steinbrenner quote. The fat pussy toad.
Yeah, he would have lost his job if he said it in this decade.
Oh yeah, Philmington, don't even get me started on that stuff, man. 'Cause it'll go from baseball cards to politics and all kinds of man, dude.
Yeah, what do you guys think about Trump? By the way, I'm not trying to take sides, but just kidding. Don't say anything. Disregard.
Yeah, because I was about to go off, man. And I might lose a few subscribers.
Right.
I'll just say I'm from Texas. You know what I mean?
Sure.
All right. What else? So what else? Getting back to the possible trade targets in the second half. Do you guys think do you think the Mets, much like the Rangers, everyone is after the Mets pitching with Syndergaard and Zach Wheeler? Philmington, do you see one of them two getting moved before the deadline?
Ooh.
And Chris Mania. All right. I'm going to do one more trivia before we get off the air, probably in about 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, I don't know exacts about their contracts, so it's like there's some economic complexities that are definitely there, and that's a big part of the equation. How serious the Mets would be to move them. I'm guessing Syndergaard, they've got to be a little fed up, almost like Chris Archer, like amazing stuff, amazing potential, and of course he's been a lot better than Archer was in Tampa Bay. But like, when are you going to put it together, dude? When are you going to be a top 5 pitcher in the league? You've got the best stuff in all of baseball. I think most people would probably say that. I think most hitters would say that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think they'd be ready to move either one of them unless the price was right. And then again, given their contract status, do they only have a year left? Is Syndergaard going to be a free agent soon? What about Wheeler? Because Wheeler's not that young either. I mean, he recovered. It took him a while to recover from a big injury. So.
Yeah, I think Syndergaard's got 2 left, if I'm not mistaken, and Wheeler's got 1. So, which is why it's really Wheeler this past offseason was the subject of a lot of trade talk. They thought he might be on the way out.
I'm all about Thor, though, man. I mean, I think maybe he like Philmington said, man. He's got some of the best stuff in baseball, man. I think he's going to be a prime example of one of those guys that kind of needs a change in scenery. I think maybe if he gets to another club, another scenario, man, he may, I don't know, pull it out of left field. But you know, because I think that's a stat that a lot of people don't pay attention to, man, is sometimes people just need a change of scenery, man, just to get something going, you know. And I think Thor would be one of those, and I'm all about it. Bring him back home to Texas, man. But it's going to take a pretty hefty price to get him from New York.
And one of the biggest, this guy really, his name has gained traction in a lot of trade talks over the last couple of weeks. And that's Whit Merrifield. And I think a lot of teams would benefit from acquiring Whit Merrifield. I mean, a lot of teams are in need of a speedy leadoff hitter. And Whit Merrifield's one hell of a player. The Royals really have a lot of good pieces if they decide to sell off again before the deadline.
Yeah, I think that's realistic there. If they get a decent haul back, I think that would be smart for the Royals to do that. They're not going to compete this year. They're not going to compete next year, and they definitely have a lot of speed already. So,
Wicked's mentioning Archer, and I think a lot of teams, like including the Mets or the Indians, who might be able to spare a pitcher before the deadline. A lot of teams see what the Rays, I was going to call them the Devil Rays, what the Rays were able to acquire for Chris Archer. So, I mean, they got quite a haul for him. So I think that's what a lot of people – and Rookie Monsters mentioning Marcus Stroman. Marcus Stroman and Ken Giles are rumored to be on the move. A lot of teams he said the Braves – I think after they got Keuchel, I don't think they're in the market for another starting pitcher, or they'll be able to outbid another team like the Yankees who've been talking about Stroman. But yeah, it looks like Toronto is going to be selling off some pitchers as well.
I could see Stroman moving. He doesn't really do a whole lot for Toronto. He's never going to be an ace really per se, but he eats up innings. He'd be good in like a small ballpark because he gets a lot of ground balls. And a team that takes a chance on him, whatever, he might break out one of these years for real. So
yeah, at some point, Toronto's going to have to get some pitching because their lineup, man, with all these young players, with Biggio and Vlad, and when I don't know, do you think Bo Bichette's going to be ready next year? They're going to be a modern day murderer's row if they hold suit.
Right, definitely.
All right, I'm going to do one more trivia, and then I'm going to see if you guys have any closing statements, so to speak. All right. Let's go. All right. It's been a breakout season for Josh Bell. We were just talking about. He's trying to snap a long drought for the Bucks. No Pittsburgh player has started an All-Star game in the infield since what player? Who was the last infielder to start an All-Star game for the Pittsburgh?
You sure you didn't already do this question? It sounds familiar.
I did. These are all questions that I've done before.
Oh, okay.
I break out the new questions on Sunday mornings.
And I know the answer.
Rookie monster, Bobby Bonilla. Of course, Bobby Bonilla is still getting paid from the New York Mets, $1 million a year, what's probably the best contract in baseball history. Bobby Bonilla in the 1988 All-Star game.
Yeah, Jay Bell was a good guess. I think that's who I guessed. Him and Jeff King, card hobbyist, Stan Burnett. Yeah.
So, Rookie Monster, do you want some vintage? 1970 Hoyt Wilhelm, 1976 J.R. Richard, or an auto of Terry Steinbach, Adam Duvall, or Desmond Jennings? So, Lonestar, you going live tomorrow? Is that right?
Yeah, I think I'm going to, man. It's because, like I was saying, man, of course, with the new baby coming, God on our side Tuesday, it's going to be a busy week next week, so I won't be able to download a lot of videos or probably it'll probably still be next weekend before we get everything situated. So I don't know if I'll be able to go live next weekend too. I don't know what we'll be doing. I just want to hop on and hang out with everybody, kind of like y'all are doing right now. And of course, I kind of lost track of the chat. Sorry, everybody. I'm just so stoked to be on with you two guys, man. Which appreciate that, man. It's an honor to be on here with you two guys, man.
All right, Rookie Monster. I'm going to throw it into the trivia bin, the big prize bin. And Phil, anything new and big coming out for you? I know you just got the RCEB coming out in a couple days, right?
Yeah, rookie card explosion box. I am going away next Monday through Thursday, so probably 85 or so boxes will go out before I leave. I'm gonna have my wife go to the post office. She's gonna go like Tuesday and Thursday, deliver some more. This is gonna be one of the best lineups ever. This is the first time it's gonna be 12 hobby packs, no retail. First time that there's 4 Topps update packs. Last month a lot of Bowman, but I like to switch it up. So I'm going to the National in a few weeks, so that'll be really fun. At first, it's supposed to be Friday through Sunday, but I might actually be able to get there Thursday night for Blue Jacket 66's big party. So I'm excited, really excited for that.
That would be epic, man.
Sounds awesome. All right, that's going to do it. I just want to let everyone know Wicked Discounts going on live in 10 minutes with his daily giveaway, and tune in for his game show tomorrow morning. Any other live shows coming up we need to announce, or is that it? Do you have a time, Lone Star? You're going on tomorrow?
Yeah, probably about 7:30 Central Standard Time. So I'm gonna shoot for 7:30. Yeah.
So 8:30 Eastern. Look out for Lone Star tomorrow.
Appreciate
and
it.
Phil, I put the RCEB hashtag in the description below. Put a little and hashtag too easy.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'll have a video that comes out. There'll be a video that comes that I'll publish on Monday, very early in the morning with the lineup. I've already pre-recorded it, so I just have to upload it, and I don't like to upload it early. So, yeah, good times.
Awesome.
Phil, I just want to say real quick, man, beard's looking good, man. Just need to bring it down just a little bit longer, but it's looking good, man.
I haven't shaved it that much. I've trimmed a little bit around the chin, but like all this is original.
Looks
and
good,
trying to see what it looks like if I grow it out a little bit. So yeah,
bring it on.
I feel left out. I'm gonna have to wait a couple of weeks to catch up to you.
Hey, bring it out, Jeff. Bring it on. You're gonna shave your head. You know, you're gonna be part of the Bald and Beautiful with us.
Yeah, well, we already have one in the house, so I might as well join the club, right?
Yeah, dude, do it.
You should. You should.
All right, Lone Star, in all seriousness, man, best of luck with the new one on the way Monday, man. God bless and everything, man. Good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And give Miss Airtime our love, man.
Will do. Philmington, great catching up with you, brother, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks. Take care, guys. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Rookie Monster, he's got to shave his head soon. I think he's going bald, but he's a good guy. So see you later, guys.
Thanks for watching.